Hello and welcome to this Introduction to Co-Writer 7 by the Spectronics Inclusive Learning Technologies Consultancy team. My name is Charlene Cullen and I'm an Inclusive Technology Consultant with the Spectronics team, and I'd like to welcome you to this webinar. If you want to find further information or contact us, ask us about all sorts of things, you can contact us through social media on Facebook, also through Twitter, and there's lots of information that you can gather about a range of topics on assistive technology on our Spectronics blog. We also have our Spectronics online subscription with a range of videos that we are sharing throughout the year on lots of different topics, so I'd encourage you to have a look at that. There's some great resources there to help you with your professional development. Now we're going to be talking about Co-Writer 7. This is a newer version, and basically if you haven't come across Co-Writer 7 before, it's primarily a word prediction program, rated as one of the best, and it basically sits on top of any other applications that you are using. So that might be Microsoft Word or Pages if you're using the Mac, blogs and wikis. You could be using email or anything that you write into, it will sit alongside. And as you're typing, it helps you to interpret spelling and grammar mistakes and gives you suggestions in real time. Co-Writer actually uses something called linguistic word prediction, which means that it knows the grammatical value of each word in its dictionaries. So when new words are learned, they are collected from articles or the student's writing, and Co-Writer will automatically assign grammar to them. And so in this way, Co-Writer can accurately predict words within the framework of a valid sentence structure. It also gives flexibility to the words it learns by automatically predicting in multiple tenses and usages. Now, it's the only word prediction program to use the context of a whole sentence to predict the next word, and this provides the most accurate prediction available. So it's crucial for your most struggling writers. Now, Co-Writer is going to be best or benefit students that might have illegible handwriting, so any specific issues with the writing process. Then you might also use it with poor phonetic or inventive spellers. Also with anyone who finds it physically difficult to type, because you're going to be needing to use less keystrokes on the keyboard. So someone with tremors or weakness of the hands or a physical disability could benefit. And also people who need to put thought into writing. So they're starting to type. Co-Writer will give them the vocabulary to do a writing task. Now, Co-Writer 7 is a part of the Solo suite, which is a suite of literacy support software by Don Johnston. There's Read Out Loud, which is a text reader with supported reading guides and speech to help students read strategically for comprehension. Read Out Loud provides access to all of the new electronic book file formats. Then there's Draft Builder, which is a mind mapping tool that helps students build, planning, organising and draft writing strategies. There's Write Out Loud, and that's an easy to use talking word processor for students in grades 3 to 12. All of these can be used individually or with each other as a package. So what are the new things that are in Co-Writer 7? Well, there are a number of things that have been added but also tweaked so that they're a lot better. We have the quick topics, which you could do before. You could copy and paste your own text in and create a quick topic on anything you like. But you can also now access over 4 million topic dictionaries by just typing in a topic. So you might be looking for something on Ayers Rock. You type that in and it searches online and creates that topic for you. We'll look at that a bit more. There's also a student-teacher version so that you can create individual or groups of students and track data on them. There's also the ability to lock out features for individuals. So in some cases you might want to remove the option for predict ahead in testing situations, and so that's available now. And there's, as I mentioned, also the ability to collect data on students, so looking at word usage, collected words and spelling errors, for instance. Some of the other things are the ability to run Co-Writer from a USB, which means that it's just a bit more portable for students. So whether you're wanting to use Co-Writer at home or in the local library or back at school, you can just take it with you. And then there's also some built-in on-screen keyboard support. So now we're going to have a look at Co-Writer 7 and demonstrate a whole range of these features for you. So we're going to start by using Co-Writer in Microsoft Word. You can use it in any application where you're going to be typing. And as I start up Co-Writer, what will happen is that it will dock the prediction window near my cursor. So I have Co-Writer open, and you can see that little blue window, which can be changed if you like, but we'll look at that a bit later, and that is docked near my cursor. So as I start to type, it will start to predict.
I am.
And you can also hear that the speech is set up to speak as I type. That's also something that we can alter, and we'll look at that shortly. But as I'm writing, the word prediction is coming up, and if I run my mouse over the words that are in the prediction toolbar,
Writing.
I can actually listen to them. They are spoken as I hover.
Wanting.
Okay, and then I can select a word by clicking on it, or I can use the number on
Writing.
the keyboard, which is good for some people who might be better with the keyboard than the mouse. So I'm just going to finish my sentence.
Writing.
So with, I'm going to click on that one.
With.
Okay, and I'm just going to start to type Co-Writer, and you can see that that's predicting that fairly quickly. So let's just choose the number 1 to select
Co-Writer.
that. And now what happens is if I use a full stop at the end of my sentence, it's actually going to start to speak my whole sentence. So let's have a look at that.
I am writing with Co-Writer.
And you can listen to it again just by highlighting what you want to read. And then on your Co-Writer toolbar, I can click the double arrows there and choose the option for speak.
I am writing with Co-Writer.
Okay. Now there's some other things with the word prediction. What happens is when you have typed something a few times, it's going to predict according to that and has learned your words and your vocabulary style. So I can write something I like to
imagine that I can
really
express what's on my. I like to imagine that I can really express what's on my mind.
Okay, now if I start typing that again,
I
like, you can see as soon as I type L, it's coming up with like at the top there.
Like.
And you can see it's also looking at my whole, it knows the sentences that I've used in the past, and it's already predicting. I can start to type I, and I don't even need to use many keystrokes.
Imagine.
That is third in line
that
there.
I
start to write can
really
and express is third in line there. So
express.
I might have been typing quite frequently. It's really going to learn that and then start to add that and build that into the prediction. So I can use less and less keystrokes as I go along. Now Co-Writer also supports spelling. So with most word processors like Microsoft Word, you will have spelling suggestions, but what they won't do is they won't suggest inventive spellings. So nowadays we have a lot of students who are using text messages and SMSing their friends, and often will use what is called text speak. Even my mother does that. So we could type the word you, which is a common way of writing YOU, but you can see that co-writer is predicting based on writing that letter U with that first suggestion there. Then we've also got
You.
If I go to my next line and I start to type a sentence using some inventive spelling for the words elephant and giraffe, we can see how that predicts. So
I watched an
Okay, so I'm typing ELEF and it's coming up with elephant. So I can choose that option.
elephant
And as I write giraffe.
and
Okay, so JERF, giraffe comes right to the top there. So I can use that suggestion.
giraffe,
Okay, I'll just finish my sentence.
roller, skate, down the.
Okay, so my sentence is finished, but I realise I want to insert a word in there just before street. So I can move my cursor to the beginning of where the word street is and start to insert my word. And you can see that it's even adjusted the spacing for that and predicts as I'm starting to type my word busy to add that in there. So that's no problem. If you do need to go back and add in words, it corrects for that as well. Okay, now I want to talk to you about topic dictionaries, and this is a great way that co-writer supports writers. It actually comes with around about 200 topic dictionaries, and these topic dictionaries are powerful vocabulary tools that are lists of words grouped together by a specific topic or content area. They contain words, names, places, or phrases typically associated with that topic. So they're going to help the writer get the words they need more quickly. And rather than labouring over how to spell something like pterodactyl or tyrannosaurus, students can focus on writing for meaning and retelling their knowledge. So it's going to increase a student's efficiency by getting to the content-specific words in just one or two keystrokes. And you can go in and add new topic dictionaries that have been posted to the Don Johnston website. You can also add additional topic dictionaries that you can make within minutes, basically using content from websites or ebooks or textbooks and worksheets. So anything that can be saved as a text file can be made into a topic dictionary. And now with version 7, you can also go in and start to you can type in a topic and it will actually pull all the content for that topic from the web as well. I'm going to demonstrate the different ways that you can create those topics, topic dictionaries called quick topics. So even though there are over 300 supplied dictionaries, let's start with typing about Albert Einstein. So I'm just going to finish that sentence.
I watched an elephant.
Okay, now we're ready to go in and look at these topic dictionaries. So if I was writing about Albert Einstein and I started to type Albert, you'll actually see that I can almost type the whole, his whole name, and it's not predicting it. Okay, so I'll just go back a bit there, and I'm going to go into my topic dictionaries just by hovering my mouse over the co-writer window, and there's a little arrow down the bottom right hand corner that I click. And now we flip over and you can see the first tab is called the topics, and we've got a topic.
Albert Einstein.
Yeah, Albert Einstein, which I'm going to select.
Albert Einstein is active.
It's active now. There's actually some speech telling me as I hover over different things. We're going to go back to the co-writer prediction window, and now you'll see it's quite different as I start to write Albert. Okay, my first two letters, and it's come up with Albert Einstein as number 2 suggestion.
Albert Einstein.
Okay? So you can see that those topic dictionaries are really helpful if you are working on particular topics at the time, that it's going to bring those words up a lot more quickly than not using them. Now, to create those topic dictionaries, I'm going to go in again to that settings area using that arrow. Okay, and this time I can
Create topic.
To create a topic.
Quickly create a new topic dictionary.
Okay, this time I'm going to create a topic dictionary for Harry Potter. So Harry Potter words. Okay, and I'm going to go into my web page that I've searched for information on Harry Potter. So let's go and do that after I've clicked on the topic dictionary, because I'm going to go and get some text from that website. So this is my Harry Potter information that I've just got off Wikipedia. I'm going to scroll down just to grab some information from the early years. So let's highlight all of that text that we want to copy. It's got lots of names and information. And copy, I'm just going to use a keyboard shortcut to do that. Copy, and then we'll go back to our co-writer window. So now I can paste that information. Okay, and click create, and that's very quick. It's successfully created, and it's also selected. I'll just deselect Albert Einstein. So now you can
Harry
see,
Potter.
actually, let's unselect Harry Potter.
William.
Go back to our writing, and let's start writing about Harry Potter this time. So if I wanted to talk about one of the mean, nasty characters, Severus Snape, I could start typing his name, S-E-V, and we're getting lots of other suggestions here. But if I come back a bit, go back into find my topic dictionaries and select Harry Potter.
Harry Potter is not.
And then go back to writing. Let's start writing about Severus Snape. Okay, 3 letters in, and it's predicting Severus Snape as my second option.
Severus Snape.
Okay, so you can see that's one way to create a quick topic, was by just going in and selecting some text and pasting that in to create a topic. The next way that you can create a quick topic is just by going straight into your co-writer word prediction window and click on those double arrows, and then you get the option there in the menu for a quick topic. So this time, instead of cutting and pasting some information, we're actually going to use the internet, so you do need to be online, and we could type in any topic, and you can see that it's actually searching topic dictionaries, and it searches over 4 million of them, and then I can just select the one that I want and click create. So now if I start typing as rock, it's selected that topic menu now that it's added it, and I can start typing about
As rock is
also
called.
Okay, and I've typed U, and you can see Uluru coming down the bottom there in the list. I can type the second letter and it's right at the top there. So that's another way that you can really quickly create a topic dictionary online. So that's a newer feature in Co-Writer 7. Even with topic dictionaries, sometimes writers can't think of the words that they need, or the words they want may not be in the dictionaries they are using. So one way to support a student further is to show the keywords and terms in a word bank while the student is writing. And this can help the student focus on a topic, or help them to brainstorm ideas for their writing, and also build their vocabulary and help them with spelling more difficult words. So to create a word bank or view one, we can click on our preferences, that little arrow, and it takes us, well, if we make sure we've selected the word bank tab at the top there, And then you can see all the lists of the words from the topic dictionary that you've selected. So our Ayers Rock one is currently selected. And in the display settings down in the bottom right hand corner, we can choose to list them or make them in a cloud view. And then we might choose to show them as we're writing, so they're visible. Then if we come back out of settings to our word prediction window, you can see we've got the word bank there visible with all of our words in a cloud. And what we can do is, as we're writing, we can hover our mouse over those words.
Formation.
So that we can hear them. And then we can choose also, if we went back to our settings, just what sorts of words are on display as well. So we can filter those words. Currently we have everything, but we could show nouns, verbs or adjectives. Whatever's going to help us to target and support the curriculum goals that we have. While we're in the settings here, we can also look at the dictionaries, where the dictionaries are, and how Co-Writer draws from those dictionaries for its word predictions. Now, I'll click on Vocabulary tab, and you'll see there are two dictionaries that it draws from. There's the main dictionary and the personal dictionary. And within the main dictionary, we have 3 levels. There's the advanced, which is including about 40,000 words from various forms of the words, and that's really good for high-level writers getting into complex coursework. I've got intermediate selected, and that's for about 12,000 words and is appropriate for middle ground writers. It's got a dictionary that's large enough so that writers can write on nearly every topic, but it's not too large to overwhelm them. And then there's the beginning dictionary with about 6,000 words, and that definitely won't overwhelm early writers with words that they don't know. Now the personal dictionary, this is the dictionary that holds words that are important to the writer and are not likely to be in a main dictionary. And they're things like people's names or pet names or favourite titles. So I'm going to add some here in a moment, but I just want you to see what happens with prediction when I don't have those personal words added in. So let's go back to, I'm just going to deselect Ayers Rock in the topics as well, and go back to our Co-Writer word prediction window. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. So my name is Charlene. Okay, so I'm starting to type the letters for that, and you can see that it's not predicting that really at all until I have to write the whole word. Okay, so I'm now going to go back into the preferences using that arrow, and in vocabulary I'm going to add those personal words about myself. So Charlene, add just some other words, and I'm going to be able to write a little bit more there about myself. So that's where you would add those. And now when I go to the writing screen,
my name is,
okay, I've done 4 keystrokes, CHAR, and now you can see Charlene is predicted.
Charlene.
And
my husband's name is.
Okay, Michael, I don't have to do many keystrokes, and that's coming up.
Nice.
Selected the wrong one there.
Michael. My name is Charlene and my husband's name is Michael.
And then just the last little thing.
We have a cat called.
Okay. Squeaky. Squeaky comes up after 2 letters.
Squeaky. We have a cat called Squeaky.
All right. So there's lots that you can do with that by adding to your personal dictionaries as well. Now if I go into more vocabulary, this is where I can do some editing. I can go into my personal vocab lists and delete words that I've added. So across the top you can see the main dictionary, topic dictionaries, you can play around with those. If I go into personal, I could go and select words and edit them. And then it's also drawing from collected words and recent words. So here, if I go into collected, you can see some of the words that I've started writing, and it's collecting those. We can choose not to collect any new words. That's also a nice way of collecting information too. Now the other thing that you might want to do, and this is something that you would want to probably do right at the start, is go into your preferences and look at things like your speech, which is your voices, and also text size and color of the background color of the word prediction window. So if we get out of our vocabulary, and the next tab along in our preferences is settings, and this is where we've got just some basic settings to alter at first. Speech settings and text settings, so we can turn off speech if we want to. It might not be a support that you need for a particular student. We could also change the voice, so we have been listening to the lovely Lucy, which is a UK voice up until now. We could change it to Charles, another UK voice. Any other voices that you've got installed on your computer, so you might have the Australian voices that you wish to use. And we can also change our speech rate. The other thing, so that could be faster or slower. We'll keep it at 0 for now. And then in terms of our text settings, this is just the display of the word prediction window. So particularly for a student that might be visually impaired, you might want to set up something that's more of a high contrast. So you could have larger text, and you could have a dark background and then a light colour for them to be able to read more easily. Now if we go back to our writing window, this time as we write, you can see I've got larger text, I've also got the voice Charles, and I can also see that yellow on blue background. Now any of those changes that we make, if we go back to preferences, in the settings, we can change. If we go along to the next tab, users, we could actually save all those settings as a particular user, and so you can change between those if you wish to. Now we can also go into more settings, and there's further detail about what we can change there. So for the display, where I change up the top, the tab there, you can have your text window, which we've got currently set as just a word prediction window. You could have that set up as a sentence window or a paragraph window. You've also got options to change how many words are displayed in your word prediction window. So you can have, currently we've got 5, but you could have more or less than that. And you can also choose not to have the numbers showing at all. There's a lot more that you can change there. If we go into prediction, this is where the flex spell option is there. So if you remember, we talked about how you could write, you could have an inventive speller, and you definitely want to have flex spelling turned on for that sort of a person. But you may want to change that to exact spelling only. Here we've also got the option, I talked about one of the newer features of Co-Writer 7, having test accommodations. So for some students where in their everyday work they're going to benefit from using Co-Writer with all of the features, you may want to turn off some of those features for tests. And this is going to vary from state to state and school district and within schools. But for some features you may want to turn things off, and a lot of the time I've unchecked predict ahead here. So this is where you could change that. and that just means it's not going to guess the next word before you type the next letter. Under speech, we also have some further options that we can change. You'll have noticed that at times we could have speech on to help describe all the things that we're seeing in our preferences windows. I've turned that off so it doesn't frustrate me, but you can have that on, and that could be really helpful for some students. We can also turn on scanning if we've got students who are physically unable to use the keyboard or mouse directly, and they might be using switches. And then we've also got what is actually spoken. We can change that also. So we've got it speaking at the end of a sentence when we press full stop, and we've also got it speaking for accepted words. So there's lots of different things we can play around with there in the extra settings as well. Now, so far we've just been focusing on using Co-Writer in Microsoft Word, and I've mentioned that you can use it within other applications. So I'll just do a brief demonstration of how you could use it within the web browser and within your email. Also, one of the things you might have noticed me doing is that you can actually either minimize Co-Writer so that it's down on your taskbar when you don't want to use it, and also maximize that again when you do want to use it. So I can minimize it at the moment, and you'll see it's just down there on my taskbar. And so what I'm going to do is go into my web browser in Chrome. So in my browser I can now maximize Co-Writer. If I leave it there in the minimized position on the toolbar, it won't do any predicting. It'll be like it's closed. But if I do maximize it or open it up, I can then start searching search terms and use the prediction just as you would in any application that you're writing into. I can also use it in email. So if I compose a message here, this is where I might want to make sure my topic dictionaries. So in my preferences, I've got Harry Potter selected because I'm going to write an email about the movie that I saw. So easily enough, I can start saying,
I saw the...
And there you go, Harry Potter is being predicted. So any application that we can write into, we can use the Co-Writer software, and it'll sit on top and predict away, as well as all the other features that we've described so far. Now we've come to the end of this introduction for Co-Writer 7, but if you do have any questions, or you find you're exploring Co-Writer and you're not sure how to do things, you can certainly call us for support and information, either on our direct phone number, or you can email us mail@spectronics.com.au. There are also some further supports available through the Don Johnston website there, www.donjohnston.com/resources, and there you'll find there's a PDF of a 30-minute tutorial that you can go through at your own pace, but there's also extra video tutorials that are available now, and that's where you can also download extra topic dictionaries. They're added from time to time, and there are also some research papers which talk a little bit more about how Co-Writer has been put together and how it's been used, and what research is behind that. So I'd like to thank you on behalf of the Spectronics consultancy team. We've got Greg O'Connor, Amanda Hartman, Katie Lyon and myself as a part of that team for participating and observing this webinar. Love for you to be in contact with us if you are interested in any of our other consultancy services that are available. So we can come out to you on site and tailor workshops to your school or organisation, and you can also access a lot of our materials online. As I mentioned earlier, there's our blog and also our online videos, of which you're watching one of them. And we can also do hands-on sessions. So if you're interested in Co-Writer or any of our other software for learning difficulties within the classroom, you can have us come out and we can certainly demonstrate and show those to you. Please look into our Inclusive Learning Technologies Conference, which is coming up really soon for 2014. We're very excited about the various speakers that we have coming along to that. It's going to be a fantastic event and I'm always looking forward to it, and it's always in planning mode. So please come along. We've got some great keynote presenters that are confirmed, and lots of speakers are getting ready for that as we speak. And I hope that you have found this particular session very useful for you. Please see more of our software introduction videos available online, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you.